All right. Hi, guys. I want to make this video because it's something that I've been working on with another IO account holder that is stinking awesome. I love it. It makes a lot of things easier. And so wanted to share with you guys and hopefully give you an idea, a window of how to do it. It's going to be a little complicated, but I'm skipping the um, app one for now because it is not quite where I think it should be. It's possible to do what I want to do, sort of, but it's not quite there. So, um, and I'm not real positive how to record the app and then put it in the video. I'm not an editor. I record this all live, so um, not doing that. So anyway, I'm going to show you guys up here. So I have it in contract so we can see. I have my delivery type set. This is a dynamically generated contract. We'll put I'm thinking here. Dynamically generated contract. Let's throw a bounce house in here too. Why not? Maybe. Okay. So the couple of the things that I mean by dynamically generated is I can change what type of or what verbiage is being used based on the delivery type. I can change I can change the hold harmless with adding text here in the custom hold harmless. Um, I can, if they click to add an accidental damage waiver, it'll add verbiage for the damage waiver. Otherwise, it leaves it off. Those are just a couple of the ideas that I have working on. Been working on. I've got some other ones that I'm working on with other people, but those are what I use the most. So um, here, let's see what this contract looks like. So if we remember, delivery type is delivery and pickup. We got a dunk tank on here. I have custom verbiage for that. I do not have the accidental damage waiver, and I do not have custom hold harmless. So we'll see what this generates. So I have my collapsible dunk tank, my delivery and return agreement terms. You come down to here, and that's my contract. Oh, here, collapsible dunk tank. And see how that blends right in with everything else? Isn't that pretty great? Okay, so now let's go up here and we'll leave it delivery because let's just go to partially staffed. Why not? Let's test this out. That's my hold harmless works, and we'll do the accidental damage waiver. So I click this to yes. If you'll notice, it added in the accidental damage waiver. Boom, up there. I added this in my custom hold harmless, and I changed the delivery type. So now we'll go to see if refreshing this works. That's not the right deal. Open up a new one. So it pulls up. See, now I have partially staffed as the deal. You come down here to custom hold harmless, and the other one is gone, and the one I typed in is there. The accidental damage waiver is in there, and the collapsible dunk tank stuff is in there. So, how cool is that? It works pretty awesome, pretty flawlessly. If I take and remove that, the hold harmless, the original hold harmless is in there. So that's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome feature to be able to do. Uh, and so let's kind of show you a little behind the scenes on how that's working. Change this here. We'll go to settings and contract. Whoops. Can't read. So I have one. It says my dynamic and it's version 2 because I had another one that wasn't so great. And here's what it looks like overall, the coding and everything. So I have a paid in full. When the balance is 0, this will show up. If it's not 0, when this equals 0, this will show up. If it's not 0, then this doesn't show up. So that's pretty awesome. Then you'll notice these green lines. This is what really helps me visualize where everything starts and ends. So the green is the beginning of a delivery type. Well, this green is. And then you'll see a second green. That's this hold harmless, and the red is the end of the hold harmless. So this other green is the beginning of the hold harmless, then the end of the hold harmless. So those are dynamic, those two pieces. I have this liability coverage. I don't remember what turns that on. I'll have to look that up. Then I have the accidental damage waiver. It's in a green and red, so it's dynamic. And see, this ends red, and then there's a red. That red means that I'm the end of the first one, and then a green start of the second one. Okay, so how I did that is I have this in here. It's in between my styles. So at the very top, you should see a style like this, and then another one like this with some stuff in between. If you pause it and add this to it, then you can add the class helper do, and it'll do all this stuff to it. Okay, so let's see what that looks like in the code. Okay, so I'm at the bottom of my contract. I know that I'm at the bottom because I have event notes and venue notes. And right here, I have a div. And you see it says the class is helper do, but there's no period because the period is for the CSS. And then a style is this equation here. So it says if, that's how it starts, if this variable, because that's what the IO says is a variable, equals, and we're using two equals, this delivery type, because that's what this variable is going to display. Then we're going to do this. And just leaving a gap there means you're going to display it. I can't get into how code works, so I'm not going to do that, but that's what you're doing. And then this says, if not, then do this. So it'll display none. So if this does not equal this, then it'll display none, which means it'll hide that entire contract page. So then we come down here. So see, I have this div, and I have to close it. So I have to go down to the bottom of my page. If you remember what my page looked like, this is the bottom. So then I have this here. That's my closing one. And then see how I have the next one. So what that is going to be so confusing for most of you, and I'm sorry. You can reach out and ask questions, and I can try to help out the best I can, but I'm not going to say that I can do it for everybody. So this green is the div. See how I have this as the beginning of the page, and I go down. That's the next delivery type. So that's what the red line is, the end div. The green one's the beginning div. Okay, let's go to the hold harmless here, and we'll show you how this works. I don't know about how to explain it any better than I am currently. So here I have this div, and I say helper do. That way I can see when I'm not in the code, I can see those green and blue lines and see what this is going to apply to. If this custom field, which is my custom hold harmless field, is equals, and there's nothing there, that's the same thing as being empty. So if it's empty, then I want this one to display. I want to display this div. If it's not empty, then I want it to hide. And then I come down right below it, and you'll see another helper do. This is my custom hold harmless. It says if this custom hold harmless is empty, then I want it to display none. But if it's not empty, then I want it to show. So if you notice, these two are direct opposites of each other. So when this is empty, it's true. That statement is true, then it displays this. If it's false, then it displays this one and hides this. Okay, so we can come down here. We can do it with virtually anything. So we have this one here. This custom field says yes. I need to know what that one is. I'll look it up in a little while. Um, then it's going to hide this. Same thing, accidental damage waiver. Yes. Hides it. Boom. I think this is named additionally insured. If I name someone as additionally insured, then it'll say I have at least this coverage. Um, so then I have my rental contract, and if it's empty, then it shows nothing. If it doesn't show empty, then it will display what's there. So that's the gist of it. See, and then you come here. This is the end of that block. So then I'm starting a new one. What's great about IO is you can kind of tell where you're at in writing these, because if you put this in, see how the next one indents, that's done automatically. And so you come down and see how this one indents only as far as this one. That means you're still inside this one because you haven't gone all the way back. So you start another one, and you keep going down. See how these are all indented? All indented. And then I get down here and see how this one steps back. That means I closed it off with the previous one. I hope that helps. I'm not real positive. As I said, you can message me if you want to. I can't guarantee I'm going to be able to help, but I will try my best. I know there'll be other people that are capable of doing this too, so you can always ask them. Um, and maybe they'll comment on it if you want help. They can comment on here, but that's the gist of how this works. So I hope that helps you more than confuse you. At the very least, shows you how powerful IO can be with the right tools. And unfortunately, you do have to know code or know somebody that knows how to write code to make it work really well for you. But I love that. I think it's fantastic. That's one of my favorite things. I don't know how easy it would be for IO to build that into their system very well, but definitely can do it yourself. And I learned everything I know about code through W3 School. They have everything from CSS, which is what this is. CSS, anything that's a style sheet. So see how it's enclosed in a style? That's the end of the style element. This is the beginning of the next one. This means end. So inside, they'll teach you styling, which is CSS, and then HTML is all this stuff here, elements and whatnot. So that's where I've learned everything was through that. So that's it. That's all I got. Let me know if you have any ideas. I'm always interested to hear ideas of what to do. Matter of fact, this whole thing got kicked off because someone else had a great idea, and we just kind of went down a rabbit hole. So I'll talk to you guys later.